We have new units, we have new fusion, and we have entirely too many Halloween decorations in Raid Shadow Legends, so much so that I cannot find any of the buildings in this Bastion. I like how they have Harvest Jack here. They won't put him in any balance patches, but he's here guarding the Guardian Ring, because of course he is. At least Madame Ceres is good, and also she makes sense here. Anyway, let's take a look at the new fusion. This is not it. This is one of the units that you use for the new fusion. This is Thorn over here. And by the way, there are still the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab events going on right now for a little bit longer. So if you haven't already participated in that, QR code on the screen, link in the description, you know how it is. We've got, we still have the April, we still have some other stuff, but it's going to be done soon. So I would recommend to do it now. Log in now. Get your free Michelangelo. Calling all new players, Raid wants you to join the Raid army. They want you so bad they're going to give you a free legendary champion in your inbox as soon as you start playing. And 3 more epics right in your inbox at levels 10, 20, and 30. All free for you just by scanning the QR code on the screen or the link in the description or the pinned comment. In addition to all of that, you can use one of these promo codes on the screen in the first 24 hours to get another free legendary of your choice. And some of these units are absolutely amazing. And whether you're a new player or already playing Raid Shadow Legends, you can use one of these promo codes for extra daily resources and rewards. Don't delay, download Raid Shadow Legends today. So here is the Sanguine Maria fusion. It is available for 2 weeks, and you can fuse it by using 4 thorns, which you can get pieces for from different events and tournaments, or you can just summon them through void shards, but it's kind of tricky because void epic, not super easy to summon that. We get 25 pieces for most of these events, although there's usually some events that are a little bit more pieces, and it's usually the summon events, just in case you want to go ham on summons and then do less of dungeons and things like that to actually get it. So we get the Thorn pieces from this. There's some nice other stuff too, and we do still have the, I already mentioned, but we do still have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab going on right now. Let's take a look at Sanguine Maria, and we're going to take a look at Thorn, and we're going to take a look at the other two. Let's take let's see what the other two are over here. 10.8 champions released. Gaspard the Accursed, and Valencia Thrall Mother. First up, we have Thorn, which is in the Sylvan Watchers, all the way down here in the Epics. Let's see what he does. I'm probably going to, on one account, try to go for the fusion, and then on another account, just do enough to get Thorn, because I like to get some of the epics that are used as fusion material because they're usually pretty decent. I don't regret Gom at all. I think Gom was actually a really, really solid epic, and he was one of the food units for another. I don't remember if he was for the Tholin fusion or if he was for the, he might have not been for the Tholin fusion. He might have been for the Ishiyama fusion or something like that. I don't remember exactly which fusion he was, but Gom was a really, really solid unit. I'm really enjoying him. So I would not count Thorn out necessarily. So we have the double hit, attacks 2 times each hit. That is what a double hit is. Each hit has a 25% chance of placing a leech debuff, goes up to 50%. Which is not bad. Damage based on defense. We have Horrifying Visage. Attacks all enemies 2 times. First hit has a 75% chance of fear debuff. Second hit has a 75% chance of 50% decrease accuracy debuff. And then we have the one with Corruption. Place a 60% increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. And a counterattack and an increased resistance buff on this champion for 2 turns. I got excited at first. I was like, oh, counterattack and increased defense, but it's just counterattack for him. Sadly. He might be good against some bosses, actually, because we got the Leech here is pretty solid. So Leech is kind of like a vampire effect, like you attack them and then you take some HP. You do some heals while you do that, but the counterattack is only for him. The increased resistance is only for him. Would be much better if the counterattack and increased resistance was for everyone. Then he would definitely be a solid boss unit. Before this champion uses a skill to deal damage, heal this champion. Value of the heal proportionate to this champion's defense. So he's got a lot of survivability there. You know he's going to be used in an ally resistance in all battles by 40. Not a crazy amount, but the crazy amounts are generally for the legendary units. I don't think he's as good as Gom. He's got the increased defense. He's got the decreased accuracy fear. He's got the leech. Some of this stuff is just for him, sadly. If it was for the rest of the team, I think he'd be much better. Next up, we have Gaspard from the Undead Hordes over here. Oh, so he's probably just going to hit at random, considering he can't really see anything too well. But let's see. There's a lot of skills. Wow. So first skill is tax all enemies. 50% chance of placing a 50% decrease. He's a legendary. He's a void legendary, though. AoE first skill. Decrease attack and weaken debuff for 1 turn. That's kind of wild for a skill 1. Second skill, Wretched Guillotine. Attacks all enemies. 75% chance of placing a provoke. Increase. So this is already going to be good for... Yeah, he's going to be pretty solid for Hydra. I can already see that. 60% increased defense and shield on all allies for 2 turns. Value of the shield proportion to this champion's defense. Okay, so we got another shield buffer. I see. So he's going to have some synergy with the unit that does damage based... we just had a fusion that does damage. I have him. I fused him, and I already forgot his name. The damage that does... the unit that does damage based on the shields. He potentially does a crazy amount of damage. There are people like hitting 1 billion damage with that over the course... not in one hit. Over the course of the run. But... then we have the use stand accused, attack 1 enemy, ignore life barrier, poison cloud, shield, block damage buffs, as well as 25% target's defense. The target was killed by this skill, revives a random dead ally with 50% HP, 50% turn meter. The revive will ignore block revive. The revive will ignore block revive debuffs. I don't know if that's a good idea. Place a block revive debuff on the targets killed by this skill, damage based on defense. Then there's no point in block revive if you are ignoring block revives. I feel like they're opening up Pandora's box here. I feel like this might be dangerous, what they're doing. It is a void legendary, but yeah, I don't know if that's a great ignore block revive. Then we have the Fallen Legend. Whenever this champion kills an enemy or decapitates a Hydra head, I told you it was going to be good for Hydra. Fill the turn meters of all allies by 25%. Heal them by 25% in max HP. This is a unit that's built for Hydra. And this could potentially be dangerous for more than that. Master wills it. Whenever an enemy is revived, instantly activates the use stand accused skill against that enemy. If multiple enemies are revived, the initial target of the revive will be targeted by the use stand accused skill. Will not put the use stand accused skill on cooldown. 50% chance of activating use stand accused on an enemy whenever an ally is killed. Occurs once per turn. Instantly activates use stand accused skill against the Hydra head whenever an ally is consumed by that head. Will not put the use stand accused skill on cooldown. If there are multiple champions on team with this skill, only one will activate. So he's just using this all the time. I feel like this is potentially dangerous. The last Void Legendary, I'm trying to remember where exactly he is, but the last Void Legendary was ridiculous too. Leonardo was another ridiculous one. They're introducing some really, really ridiculous units. Next one is in Knight's Revenant. Venalicia. What did I say? Valencia? I think I said Valencia. Okay, Venalicia Thrall Mother. No comment. Let's say it's on the outfit. No comment on the outfit. I want to make some comments, but yeah, I'll let you guys make the comments instead of me. So we have the first skill, attacks enemy 3 times. Anytime I see triple hit first skill, I think, okay, maybe Fire Knight could be nice. And this is not a Void Legendary. This is a Force Legendary. Weaken debuff for 2 turns, which is nice. Then we have an AoE before attacking, remove all buffs from all enemies. 75% chance placing a block buffs and a defense break on all enemies for 2 turns. Actually pretty solid. Pretty solid. And then we have a Mother Knows Best. Skill 3 revives all dead allies with 50% HP, 50% turn meter. If all other allies are dead, revives them with 75% HP and turn meter, and decreases cooldown of all revived ally skills by 1 turn. Also increases the cooldown of all enemy skills by 2 turns. So we have a strip and we have a cooldown increase. in the same unit. That's not bad, man. Some of these new units are getting a little bit crazy strong. The Warped Benevolence fills this champion turn meter by 20% whenever an ally dies. Heals this champion by 20% of the max HP whenever they are attacked by an enemy under Pain Link. Debuff occurs once per turn. Places Pain Linked debuff for 2 turns on enemies who deal damage equal to 25% or more from an ally's max HP with a single skill. If there are multiple champions on team with this skill, only one will activate. So we got a lot of revive helper mechanics, and then we have the accuracy increase in all battles by 60%. Strip defense break, increased cooldown, lots of revives. This definitely another useful unit. I don't think as crazy potentially as the last one, but I think that last one's going to be super good against some teams in PvP and definitely against Hydra. Let's take a look now at the actual fusion. So we're going back to the Undead Hordes for the fusion unit, and she is here. Sanguine Maria. More cool character models. Let's see what she does. We got the triple hit. Each hit has a 33% chance of granting an extra turn. Cannot gain one more. Okay, cannot gain more than 1 extra turn. I was about ready to see a 20. It's not a 22% chance, guys. It's a 33% chance. Lols. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. We have the Sanguine Fissure attacks. At least it's only 1 extra turn. Not more than 1. Attacks one enemy, ignores 33% of the target's defense, will ignore 99%, so she's a mathematician. Ignores 99% of the target's defense, stone skin, and block damage buffs, instead of the skill is used on a turn number that is divisible by 3. Oh my god, I need a calculator for this new unit. Okay, if the target is killed, increases the... Because you have to actually... Is there going to be an indicator on this? Or is it just going to be... Do the math. Make sure you use it on the right turns. If the target is killed, increases the cooldowns of enemy skills by 3 turns. This effect cannot be resisted if this skill is used on a turn number that is divisible by 3. This is the thing that I never do, is count the cooldowns and count the turns and count. I'm not a big fan of counting, guys. Attack Gore Scream. Attack one enemy before attack removes all buff from all enemies. Cannot be resisted by enemies with a number of buffs that is divisible by more math! Okay. Cannot be resisted by enemies with a number of buffs that is divisible by 3. Will attack all remaining enemies with less than 66% HP. Okay. Grants an extra turn if this champion is under a number of buffs that is divisible by... Why does this need to be algebra and trigonometry to... It's obviously not actual trigonometry, but yeah. Oh my god. I just see all the numbers. Divisible and multiplicated. Okay. Say her name. Each subsequent hit from this champion deals 33% more damage, stacks up to 99%, resets after the 99% damage bonus is applied. Each subsequent hit this champion receives deals 33% less damage, stacks up to 99%, resets after the 99% damage reduction is applied. Whenever an enemy is revived, revives this champion with... Whenever an enemy is revived, revives this champion with 33% HP and 66% turn meter. After being revived, place a True Fear debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted or blocked. I don't want to fuse this just because I don't want to do math. That is the reason. Although I'm sure she's actually going to be strong. She's going to be strong, but you got to do so many numbers. You need to play Raid Shadow Legends with the calculator in 2026. That is the new meta, guys. That is the new meta. Keep that calculator out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm too lazy for this champion. I better summon the Void Legendary because I'm too lazy for Sanguine Maria. All right. Anyway, guys, that's it for this. Should we do a couple pulls? Not any of these because there's no boosted. I've gotten to the point where I'm just like I'm not doing any pulls unless they're boosted. So we'll just leave that there. Nothing. Okay, we'll do some of these. These I'll do without any rate up. But those actual shards I want to do on the rate ups. Or at the very least like boosted rates to get certain units. Boosted probabilities. Let's toss this. Let's toss... What else is a 2-star that I don't need? Let's do that. Oh, nothing today. Okay. Not going to give us anything. Nothing. All right, guys. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'm excited about the Thorn. I'm going to be... I don't think I'm going to do... I'm too lazy to do the math, man. I'm going to mess that up so bad. I don't know. I'll think about it. But also, the next 2 weeks are going to be pretty busy. So anyway, that's it. So I feel like I'm going to miss out on some of the events just based on that. But it looks like a solid unit regardless. That Void Legendary, though, that one looks like a Hydra Destroyer. But anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you as always. Oh, use QR code and link in the description if you haven't already started playing Raid. Get that Michelangelo. Free Michelangelo, and it's almost done, though, so make sure you do it now. See you as always in the next one.